everyone, welcome back. Another session coming up, this time with the founder of a company and of the company Presono, who are also sponsors of this event. You may not know about Presono so far, but you're about to see something that I believe, especially if you're in the sales world or if you're in the marketing world, will open your eyes for a lot of opportunities. Martin Becherens, who is the founder of the company, is here with us. Martin, let's use those 20 minutes in the best possible way. I know you know how.
Thanks, Boris, and welcome to everyone out there. And I'll directly jump into the topic. So let me start with this sentence. I think Usain Bolt is not the greatest sprinter of all time. And you know, I think, is he going to do a sports presentation? No, I'm not. You will understand this sentence later on, and I will show you in my presentation today why I think this and how this relates to the business world in the area of presentations. So every one of you probably has to deal with a topic of presentation in some business context. But have you actually asked yourself what a presentation is? Ask it yourself. What is a presentation? And I prepared a list to make it easier for you, surely. This one is very easy. I think we can all agree on this. It's clear, everyone knows it, and surely this is a presentation. Also, this one probably is easy. It is also, the product presentation has presentation in its name, so we can agree on this too. But what about this one? Okay, I think after 1 second, you realize, yeah, sure, sales pitch or investors pitch, everything like this is a presentation. But now it gets tricky. Let me show you some other kinds of presentations. The digital project catalog, and the interactive trade show app, or the training material collection, or a business report, or even a virtual exhibition booth. It's not that easy, as you see, to define this as a presentation, but if you think about it for a moment, you realize, oh yeah, this guy is right, this is also some kind of presentation. And I can tell you what a presentation actually is. A presentation is everything that represents your company, your products, your services, your ideas, your values, and your vision. So everything that represents that is in some way a presentation. And you always should think about it, and not only your standard presentations that we are doing and using on a daily basis. But all of these use cases have things in common. Because in the business context, all of these use cases and presentation use cases should follow the branding. They all share the same branding, because the branding is your business card to the outer world. Everyone should recognize your branding, so it's important to have a consistent branding and corporate design. Also, they all share some kind of data and content elements. They have translations if you are an international company. They share media files. They have different storylines. We heard about storylines already in the track sessions here. And so you have a storyline, but why not use it in different use cases and only prepare it for one single application? And they all share the same goals, because the presentation wants to inform or inspire or sell. Think about this too. But in times like these, especially in companies, everyone wants results faster, and it should be a better result, and there should be more results, and so on. And you now might ask, okay, how should I do this? How should I combine all this? And the first question you have to ask is, what do you need to do so? And we asked our clients, what would they want and what do they need to deliver better results in all these kinds of areas of application that I just named. And I again prepared a list, and I bet that many of the points on this list will be recognized by you, and you also would need these things or do need these things. The first thing everyone told us is that the content always has to be up to date. They want everyone to have the most recent version of the content. Might it be data or some kind of story element, it should be up to date. Also, everyone should follow the branding. We already heard about the branding, so it's very easy and clear to understand that everyone should use it. But at the same time, everyone wants to have a modern design. They have modern websites, applications, and so on, great videos. So a modern design is essential even in the world of all these areas of applications of presentation. Surely they want to collaborate inside their team or inside the whole company, and they want to have interactive navigation flows. What does this mean? The storyline is not necessarily a single line, but it can have different ways and paths on how the story evolves. Also, you want to interact with your audiences or with your clients. So therefore, interactive navigation flows are a good thing that they would love to have. If you have collaboration, interactive flows, and so on, you want insights into the usage. What content is used internally in our presentation use cases? And also you want to analyze the interest of your clients when sending out stuff to them. So you see, there are a lot of different things, but never forget the easy usage. Clearly, everyone wants tools that are easy to use because this even saves more time and effort. And the last but very important point and aspect are the integrations. You have a tool landscape. You have different tools for different use cases. Whatever you use should smoothly integrate into this landscape. So this is an important part that everyone told us that they want to have. And now you're telling me, hey, it's impossible to have all of these things within one solution. And I tell you, never say things are impossible. Because have you heard of a heptathlete or decathlete? These are athletes doing 7 or 10 sports within one competition, within 1 or 2 days. And they are only a friction worse or slower than the specialized athlete. So Usain Bolt might be the fastest sprinter of all time, but a decathlete is only a friction slower but does 9 other sports afterwards. So in my opinion, these are the better and greater athletes. But now you know, okay, there's a decathlete. If a decathlete is more than a sprinter, and it's more than a shot putter, and more than a pole vaulter, then I tell you, here's Presono, and it's more than a presentation tool. Presono is a platform specifically made for all presentation use cases in the B2B area. And for a better understanding, I think it's good that I remind you about all these use cases in the area, the representation of all the things we already talked about. So this is the tool made for all these use cases. And I think the best is we dive into the tool and show you a little bit. Due to the time, I cannot show you all functionalities and features, but I can give you a good overview about the tool. So the tool is a platform that works online and offline. You can use it in your browser or inside the native applications on all devices. We start into the tool. It looks a little bit like this one. And the heart piece of the tool is the content management. You can manage all your media files you need for any kinds of presentation within this platform. So you have kind of an image or asset management integrated, but you can also integrate external digital asset management tools if you already are using them. So it's very easy to manage everything, and important part is that you also can manage single slides. You might know it from different plugins, but it's the same at Presono. So you manage single slides, and the presentation from now on is only a playlist of single items. So you don't save a file as a presentation. You have these single slides, and this guarantees the correctness of all the data and content, because you only have to manage a product slide, for example, once, or the company history. You manage it once, and everyone using the slide has always the most recent version. You can structure this content with categories, with tags. You can give permissions on different workspaces so that you can decide who's able to see and use what kind of content and to do what kind of activities with this content. In this case, for example, I'm in a client instance, and I search, for example, for the word Dolce, because this is Segafredo. You might know the coffee brand. And you see, I search for the term Dolce, and I can find all content elements related to this. There's a full text index search, so I not only find the files with this name, but also all things that have it inside the text or are related to this. So it's very easy to finally find the files just with one term and search, and you can surely narrow down the results by filtering different categories and so on. So based on this, you now say, okay, then show us how to create all these. Let me jump into another customer instance and show you an example. I prepared a presentation. We are now in this editor view. You see, this is a typical editor view of a presentation tool, so it's very easy to understand. And you see, I already put 5 slides into this tool. I can add more by clicking plus, adding more of the slide that already exist, or create new ones. And here comes the important part. All the slides are based on templates. And these templates also have permissions behind them. So you can control who is allowed to do what within this template they use. For example, in this template, I can use my headline. And as you see, I cannot change the font, I cannot change the color, and I also cannot move this area. So I can focus on my content, on my client, on my message, and don't have to worry about the corporate design or branding. There are people inside the company who know what they do and how this should look and feel, who manage the font, who manage the colors, and so on. It depends on the permissions how much you're allowed to do. But you see, I also cannot touch the logo. I cannot move it. I cannot move this green area down there. But I could change an image, for example. So I can exchange this image, or I can change a text here. As you see, everything follows the guideline. It's very easy to create different kinds of slides. You see, there are dozens of templates that you can create for your teams. You see, here's some kind of key facts and figures, timelines, and all these things, a world map. You can define it, and everyone follows the corporate design, which then leads to a very decent presentation. So if I start this presentation, you can see that I click through it and there are key facts, numbers, and so on. And it's actually quite a nice presentation. Everyone can create slides like this one without the need of knowing how to create this, how to design this, and how the corporate design is made. So this was a nice example. And due to the single slide management, there's even more behind. So in this case, you see, I'm opening up a presentation consisting of one slide. And you're telling me, okay, one slide, does it make sense? Why can I create a presentation with one slide? Due to the interactivity of Presono. As I mentioned, you have single slides, and you can link them easily via the editor. By the way, everything I'm showing to you is done within our tool, within the editor. There's no coding needed or individual programming, so everything can be done by the users and client themselves. In this case, I start with this one slide and then can click through different topics. So there's some kind of menu. This is an interactive product catalog, so I have a menu above here and I can switch to certain products or use the main menu down here and click into deeper layers. I also have the possibility to drag this via touch or mouse. It's also a native content element, and then click into the detail of this product range, for example. And you see, I can get deeper and deeper within the structure and get all the information at the final stage, which is basically a slide that could be used in other presentations too. Also can access media files linked to this element. I can open up images in a larger view without the need to create single slides only to show large images. I can implement iframes and show iframes from external applications or so on. And I also can show my PDF files like data sheets here. So you see, you can scroll through them. This is not Acrobat opening up. It's inside my presentation, directly integrated. And the best thing, due to this single slide management, we also made it possible to manage translations. So I can easily switch between different language layers. So you manage a slide and there are kind of layers for all the translations that you can manage. You could also integrate your language management system. And you see, it's easy to switch between different language versions. So this reduces the amount of time you need to manage all these versions and translations. So you say, now, this is really possible for everyone. Let me show you the decathlete example I was talking about earlier. You see, it's a similar approach. I can click through different interactive flows, go into deeper details, and open up certain products. And again, I end up with a slide that could also be used in different kinds of presentation too as a single slide. And I have the option to go even into more details on this slide. So very handy to have, and this makes it possible to create even more because everything is tracked in the background. You click interactively, but the tool tracks what you do, and afterwards you can analyze the usage of the company internal use cases. So you see who is using what presentation, how often. You can analyze all the usage of the slides. You can do A/B testing and so on. You can compare different regions or time spent and can analyze the actual usage. And now you might ask, okay, but how do I keep track of what I show to the client? That's very easy. Let me show you with this example. This is an interactive app for a trade fair and actually used at trade fairs and exhibitions. And the users can click through this, or the salespeople click through the application together with the client. And I go into deeper details of different products and can jump into details of technical facts at least. And it's completely interactive, as you see, but the tool in the background tracks everything you do. So as soon as I exit this presentation, you see that it creates a session, and everything I actually have shown is in the session. So you see, this is my list of elements I actually have shown. I can download this as PDF, but I also can share this as a link. So I create a link, I can send this link via mail, Slack, Teams, Zoom, whatever you like, and the recipient doesn't have to install anything. You don't have to upload gigabyte of data. They don't have to download gigabyte of data. They just open this link that you send them via mail. Then they provide their email address and can look at all the things they just have been showing. So you see, here we have the presentation I just showed to you, and including all the things I clicked on. I can download it as PDF, start it in full screen, and so on. And the best thing is that this gets tracked in the background again. So if I go into this analytics part, I now can analyze the usage of this link. And I can see, okay, I, MB at Presono, have been at the link yesterday, I tested it, and today, and you see which slides have been used from me, for how long. And I also see that there was some different person from another company and what they were interested in. So you get deep insights, which are really great before you present or have a presentation appointment or afterwards. So a lot of insights you can gain by this. So this was a kind of overview. Let me just summarize what you just saw. Presono provides the possibility to have all the time up-to-date content. You always follow the branding. Every user inside the tool follows the branding, and it's easy to manage. You can control permissions, and therefore they can collaborate within the tool. You can create different kinds of decks, and you can manage your translations as well as different media files and integrations. And you can easily share and analyze the usage. And the important part is it integrates well. You can integrate your digital asset management, you can integrate via XLib your translation management. We're working on the Adobe integration, and also there will be a Microsoft integration so that you can decide which tool you use for which of these use cases I named and where they can benefit from each other and together create a stronger world for your presentations in a business context. So we help all our clients to stand out from their competition and use their maximum potential, and also enable them to be really respected by their clients for their great presentations, and they have a great experience. So let's summarize it with this. You should always think about all use cases in the whole company and then decide which tool might be the best one or which combination of tools. This is the first thing you should take away from today. And also always think about the greatest sprinter can, in my opinion, more than just run, because it's a decathlete. So Presono, more than a presentation tool. If you are interested to learn more about it, drop us a line, send me an email, and we can show you even more of the detail of the platform. There are tons of possibilities, and via this link you can find the presentation you have actually just seen. So thanks for following this session, And thanks, Boris, for this great event at this point.
Yeah, thank you, Martin, for this short presentation. I'm sure that all of your successes, because we were discussing this over email, that in the last 1 year there were so many new customers on your end. I'm sure that they are finding all of those features extremely valuable. I personally find especially the translation part and the fact that you have such rich analytics extremely important for some specific business cases indeed. And these are things that I would very easily, I think that everyone would agree that these things are missing in, I would say, almost any other presentation platform. And if those are important for the people that are listening or watching this session as a recording, you now know that there is a solution for that one. And obviously, as Martin mentioned, it's not just that, right? There is a lot of things that could be done. Martin and his team are also monitoring their booth in the expo area. So make sure that you go there. There is again a call to action button. And so if you go from there, you may expect some surprises from the team there. Martin, again, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, and have a great day. And everyone out there, enjoy the rest of the conference.